Something is very wrong when we as Americans know that before we open our mouths to speak, whether to a spouse, a work colleague, or in a political community, our government is listening.
Listening to your calls, snooping on your emails, but is the government listening to calls for reform? In the wake of Edward Snowden's revelations about the breadth and depth of America's surveillance infrastructure, ordinary citizens are banding together against government spying. Over 5,700 websites planned a day of action against the National Security Agency, many turning their home pages into the home front in the battle for digital privacy. February 11th was declared the day we fight back, 2 years after tech giants like Wikipedia and Google blacked out their home pages to protest against internet control legislations like SOPA and PIPA. Today's anti-surveillance press conference was a physical demonstration of the protests that are already going on online. We heard from a number of people from a host of different groups. We heard from religious clerics, from civil liberties advocates, even a U.S. congressman, all telling the NSA to keep their hands off their data and to respect their privacy. Many of the speakers had differing views on exactly what should be done and how to achieve it, but all agreed that something needs to change. Rabbi Arthur Waskow, one of the plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the NSA, said this spying infringes on his religious freedom.
I'm not just teaching Torah, but doing it by being here, by opposing, by joining in that lawsuit against the NSA. That's the kind of religion.
Normir is a Muslim American, and she says the NSA could use her private conversations with her family and friends against her.
For me, standing here as a person of color with family and loved ones in Pakistan, a country labeled as the most dangerous country in the world, I fear that every personal exchange and intimate moment, from the phone call I made this morning to the email I'll send after this, will one day or could be used against me.
Linda Shade spoke out for her right to protest.
Whether we are on the left or whether we are on the right, we are standing here today to say our rights to dissent will not be trampled.
Even Congressman Rush Holt stepped away from his work on Capitol Hill and into the winter cold to tell Americans about a bitter reality.
Our own government is treating every one of us as suspects first and citizens second.
Congressman Holt's Surveillance State Repeal Act aims to change that by doing away with the laws that allow for the mass collection of phone records and internet metadata. Holt says progress is being made in the halls of Capitol Hill with other legislation as well. But he and the other speakers are afraid this issue will be swept under the rug and these controversial practices will continue.
Every day these abuses continue is one more day that our Constitution is compromised.
In a physical demonstration of protest, over a dozen rallies were also planned around the world, from San Francisco to Serbia, Denmark to Costa Rica, and everywhere in between. Also, more than 126,000 people signed a petition urging the U.S. to return to its constitutional principles. In the end, the speakers agreed that it's up to the American public to get the debate going.
So I'm asking you to call, to email, to fax.
Call everyone that you can in all these buildings around you.
We're going to let Congress know that we mean business.
Hands off our data.
The day we fight back is using the tools the NSA so often surveils to finally get the government to listen. In front of the Capitol, Megan Lopez, RT.